Hi everybody and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Today I have my budget update for you guys for the month of May. Yes, May. And for my May budget, you're going to see a pretty typical budget, or at least typical to kind of what it has been. Last month I mentioned expecting to possibly get my tax refunds for April, but I haven't received them yet, so hoping that they will come during May. So same basic setup, and then should I get that windfall of money, I'll make a video and update you guys on exactly how I allocate that. With that being said, almost always it's going mostly to my investments, some to my savings, and probably a little bit toward discretionary spending as well. May will be the first full entire month that I am commuting back to work every single day. I was doing so in April, but we had spring break in the middle there, so I didn't need to include as much for gas. So a couple of things might be changing about this budget throughout the month, but for the most part, it should be steady. Finally, I also wanted to note, because this is something that I've gotten a question about on Instagram, is that my budget updates do not include any of my pre-tax deductions and information. And so I'm just showing you guys the exact amount I am taking home, which means that while I'm not representing what I'm investing every month in my budget, I am still investing every month. Every month, $720 go to my 457B through work. So what I invest in my Roth IRA, that is what I do on top of my regular every month investing. So I just wanted to clarify those few things first before we get into the numbers, and I think that's it. So let's head over my shoulder and take a look at my budget for May 2021. Hello everybody, welcome to my budget. You might notice I'm in different clothing and in a different area than I normally am here in my living room, and that's because I recorded this on my laptop where I typically record it. However, something got messed up with the recording, so here we are now looking at it from Brian's computer in the living room. So let's take a look at my numbers for this month. My paychecks are going to be pretty typical. I'm actually going to be bringing in a little bit more than this potentially, because when COVID first hit, my district paused our steps, so I did not move up a step on the salary scale as I anticipated to, and they are kind of retroactively giving us that step now. So I may actually be bringing in slightly more than this for my two regular paychecks, probably a negligible amount, but we'll see. I'm not totally sure what it's going to be like. And then the other thing is, I did not get my tax refund last month as I anticipated to. I think I will probably be getting it this month. If not in May, then probably in June. So I'm leaving a space here for that. And then, as some of you guys know, I covered for the girls' JV volleyball team. I coached them this semester. We kind of had a delayed, shortened season, so I'm getting a partial stipend for that. And I believe it's coming in this month as well. I'm expecting it to be about $800 after tax and my 457 deductions, because 15% of it will automatically go into my 457, my employer-sponsored retirement plan. So that's like my conservative estimate of what it will be. Not totally sure. I probably should have added that in here, but I think I'm just going to wait to see what the amount is first, and then maybe give you guys a little bit of an update, especially if I also get my tax refund this month, because that's going to change quite a lot of things. But before we talk about what I would do with those windfalls of money, let's look at what I'm doing with just my base salary. The first thing I always list out is my fixed expenses, which really haven't changed. My rent is $828 a month. My car and renter's insurance is $82 a month. My phone is $45 a month. $10 a month for all of my recurring subscriptions, which is mostly small donations and Patreons. And then $70 a month for what we spend for all of Hattie's food and meds and everything. Then we have my variable expenses, which are mostly the same as last month. I think maybe slightly different. $200 for groceries. Last month, I believe, I haven't totally finished out the month yet. We have a couple days left in the month at the time that I'm recording this, but I think I'm going to go under budget for groceries. I went over budget for dining out, so hopefully that doesn't happen again this month, but it evened out with groceries, so we'll see what happens. I've got 110 designated for gas, which should be, I think, exactly the right amount. And then utilities, I always budget 60, and I almost never use that much. I just want to give a nice liberal estimate in case I end up hitting that. And then for my other, I have $70 designated in that, 55 of which I have already spent because I needed to buy another pair of pants. I don't know if I've mentioned this on my YouTube channel specifically, but in other platforms, I've been very open about the fact that during quarantine, my pant size changed. It went up, so I need to sort of revamp my wardrobe and buy more pants, because right now I literally only have 2 pairs of work pants that I can wear to work, and one of them is like black jeans, which is not super great to be wearing half the time to work. So I needed to buy some more, so I did, and because I was already at my capacity for April, I just put it into May's budget. Some budgeters will tell you that that's not cool and that's bad, and they might be right, but it's what I did because I desperately needed more pants. So there's my life story about pants. So after I set up my fixed cost and my variable costs, I can determine what's going to go to all of my extra goals, and in this case, all of my sinking funds. So for my sinking funds, I've got $60 going to gifts, $80 to travel, $50 to business, $355 to pay myself over the summer, which is that's the minimum I could be putting into this, and then $178 for grad school. That covers the cost of 1 3-credit course with the institution I'm working with. So that is also really the minimum I want to be putting aside a month, because I'm trying to take a bunch of classes over the summer. I think that's that. Also, I just added a little section in my notes section for what my actual numbers for my federal tax refund and my state refund will be, because I haven't been good at actually keeping track of how much that's been year to year, and that's really important, even though it changes based on all of my stipends all the time. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, because I get quite a few questions about it, is that I am investing every single month, even though that is not reflected in my budget necessarily. So this income over here represents just what I'm taking home, and that is after my 457 deductions, which is, I think, 15% of my salary. It's $720 a month. So every month, $720, I'm investing that from my salary, but it's not reflected here because this is just what I'm doing with my take-home pay. And then on top of that, when I get these windfalls of money, tax refunds, stipends, but also third paychecks, and this year stimulus checks are all those windfalls for me, I send a lot of that into my Roth IRA. So the only consistent month-to-month investing I'm doing is with my 457, but I do a lot of investing on top of that into my Roth IRA. And the reason I do that is because I'm getting this money after my deductions, and because I want a place to put all of those extra windfalls of money, and the Roth IRA is great for that because it ends up being about $6,000 a year, which is the maximum that you can contribute to an individual retirement account. So I think that's everything. Not a super interesting budget. It will get much more interesting when I know what the numbers will be for these income pieces. And I might film a little update mid-month just to let you guys know when I get these things. But it really just depends because I am super swamped right now with work and coaching. And then the other feature of my budget that I like to mention in each of my budget videos is my running totals category, which is this section where I keep track of everything that I spend in the month. And this is really awesome. So, for example, you can check out April. I kept track of all of my dining out purchases, and you can see that I went over budget, as well as all of my grocery purchases, whenever I got gas, my other expenses, and my utilities. which are the same 3 items every month, but the numbers vary. So I really love this feature because I can actually analyze my spending, and it helps me just spend more intentionally when I know I have to go write it down and put it in my budget. So yeah, I think that's everything. Again, not super interesting, but thank you guys for following along with my budgets month to month. It is awesome. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it, comment, and subscribe. And I also found out today that I have over 500 subscribers now, so thank you to all of you who have been loyally watching these videos from the beginning or hopping in along the journey. It really means the world to me. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Bye!